Hello everybody, this is Milad and it's my pleasure to be with you with another session of Bootstrap 5 series. And in this lesson, I want to explain and work a little bit with images in Bootstrap based on its documentation. So you can easily go to the content section and the images section. So basically here we want to talk about how to have responsive images and different styles we have for images. For example, here we have rounded images pretty easily with Bootstrap and other tools we have in Bootstrap. So let's begin. If we want to use an image in HTML, we need to use image tag. So first of all, let me to download an image. So you just grab an image from a website. For example, Unsplash would be a good place to do that. So download an image from anywhere you want and paste it in your actually in your project in the root. I've already done that. Here I have image1.jpg, JPG actually, and also I have a simple template for Bootstrap here. There's nothing there. So if I refresh the page, there is nothing in this page, and so if I want to show an image, could easily say that I want to have an image, and here source would be like this. JPEG save, and let me refresh the page. So as you can see, if the size of the image is really huge, uh, there will be a problem for showing that in the browser. So you have multiple options to resize the image and make it smaller. The best practice actually would be downsizing or reducing the size of the image with another software, and then use the resized image and use the smaller image instead of this bigger image. But also you can do the same thing in the HTML as well with option here. So I can say, for example, 200 pixels. I wanted to assign for the width of image. So if I refresh the page again, you can see that I get the image in the size of 200 pixels as width. But the problem here is that actually uh, first the HTML needs to download the original image and then resize it into the size you want. And it's gonna take a lot of resource to do that. And as you can see, if I reload the page, it takes a couple of seconds to show it again. And so it's a better idea to use another software that first resize it and then use the smaller one again in your project. However, uh, what I'm going to talk about it here is that the size of this image here, let me make it bigger, for example 600 pixels, and let me refresh the page. And so basically the size of the image is fixed. If I change the width of the browser, as you can see, the size of the picture is fixed and it doesn't change. But if you wanted to have a responsive website or web page, actually, you need to have a dynamic image that reflects to the size of the device or window. So Bootstrap makes this easy for us, and we can add some classes here to make it more dynamic actually. So I can say class and image fluid. And what it does is actually uh, it changes the size of the image responsively based on the size of the device. And based on the grid system Bootstrap has, and we talked about it before. So let me refresh the page again. And here, as you can see, when I reduce the width of the browser, the image is getting smaller and smaller. And that's the point of using this image float class. So let me make it more clear. So first of all, let me to define a container class. The first thing you need to define when you use Bootstrap, you need to define a container. And in that container, you need to do everything you want. And here, for example, if I want to have a row, could say div and class would be, and in this row, I want to have two columns actually. So let me div and class would be col. And I want to have, if I want to have two columns, so I need to set 6 for each column as the size of the column. And that's it. And I can copy this and paste it. So first of all, let me get rid of this class here. Actually, we just want to use, we have two columns and each columns tries to show an image with the size of 600 pixels. Let's see what happens if I try this. If I refresh the page, uh, you can see this, the second image actually covers the first one. And this is a really bad problem here we have. If I try to reduce the size of the browser as well, it gets worse and worse. So, but let me add the image float class, which is coming from Bootstrap. If I do this and refresh the page, as you can see, now the size of the images are the same as the size of the their container, which is actually the column. So here, for example, if I change it to maybe 4 and 4, let me refresh. And you can see we have smaller images here. And if I try to reduce the size of the browser, you can see they're also getting smaller and smaller. And at some point, you can actually add, for example, some breakpoints. MD, for example, tag to this and MD, refresh. As you can see, at some point, it's gonna break into two actually rows. And this happens. So the first thing we need to know about images in Bootstrap is actually if we want to have responsive images, we need to use image float. Okay, let's see what we have for images other than this in Bootstrap. Go to the images and here. So basically we talked about responsive image and we talked about image float as well. And so another thing we have here is a thumbnail. Uh, Actually, if you want to have an appearance like a thumbnail, you can use the image thumbnail class as fast as possible. For example, in our example here, if I want to make them to look like thumbnail, the only thing I need to do is just add image thumbnail here. Let me copy this and paste it here. Save. Let's refresh the output and see. Okay, as you can see, there is a very thin edge here, which actually makes it to be similar to a thumbnail shape. So, but it doesn't affect any other things. It's just about the looking aspect. And what else we have? Okay, consider that we want to have a text as well here. For example, let me get rid of one of these columns here. For instance, this. If I save this and refresh the page, so I have something like this. And if I add some text to it, this is sample text. Let me copy this. And so as you can see, the text will be under the image. But what I want to happen is actually I want to have the image on the left side and the text on the right side of the image. To do that, the fast way to do that is using float start. And if I add it to this, if I refresh this, but it doesn't work. The reason is that actually we need to get rid of image float and we need to define the width we want. For example, I wanted to have 200 pixels here, and let me refresh the. And also, first of all, let me get rid of this float here. This, I will have something like that. The text is below the image, but if I want to have the text at the right side of the image, I need to add this class as well, and let me refresh. So here with this tag, I could have both image and the text on one row and together. But the point here is that if I assign some background color to this, for example, BG info, and some color to this BG, or actually let me to do something else. Save this, refresh this. As you can see that all of them are in the column container. So, but the difference is that also we have the text around the picture somehow. And also you can have the picture on the right side with float end. And what else we have here? We have also rounded. If you want to have rounded shape for an image, it would be really easy to do that. So I say rounded, and let me get rid of this thumbnail. And let me refresh this. And you can have rounded image simply with that class. And also we could use, let me try that, rounded circle, I believe. Yeah, we get a nice circle image here. And well, that's it, I think. The most important things related to image in Bootstrap are these stuff, and there is nothing really special about images, but the most important thing is actually this responsive image with image float, and also maybe you want to float at the end or start off the container, and probably you want to have rounded uh, image as well, or also maybe you wanted to put image at the center of the container. You can do that with MX Auto, and also you can do that with text center as well. Uh, there's no difference between these two ways. So that's it for this session. I hope this helps you to become more familiar with images in Bootstrap, and see you again in the next lesson. Thank you for watching. Please hit like or subscribe if you want. If you want to follow the videos of the channel, and if you want to support me, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye.